Welcome to Soltron. This is the video review of the Feng Bao Qinglong. Here's a size comparison. And here's another size comparison with some more random figures I own. And here's the box he came in, which has a really nice foil finish to it and just really beautiful artwork on the cover. And then really nothing on the sides. And then the back you get a shot of the product. So yeah, really cool. Here's the instructions he came with. So pretty nice looking instructions in full color. And then he's got, this is the diagram for his sticker sheet. I don't know if there's a blue version. I didn't see anything like that. And then here are the stickers themselves, which are terrible. I did apply some of the stickers, and when you peel them off, more likely the whole thing is going to rip because the whole thing's perforated. But these stickers are pretty, they look really awesome because they have that shine to them, but they're really bad. They don't stick to anything. And here's the 360 view of this guy, and you can see he's very clean. There's no kibble at all, except for, I guess, the dragon head and his sword tail. But otherwise, he looks very clean. I think the feet look pretty wonky too, but pretty good look. A little bit minimal, but not bad at all. This guy does come with some accessories. So one of the accessories is this very cool lightning effect. And it's actually got the same branch over and over again, but you can't really tell. It looks very organic. So this, of course, you can plug into this little hole in the dragon's head. So you just open the mouth. You can just shove this lightning effect in, and then it looks like it's shooting lightning, which is really cool. And it's an awesome effect piece. And then the other thing he comes with is this stand. So it's very modular. So really how this works is you can see that it's got these interlocking pieces. So each piece just represents like one stand, and then it comes with the shaft pieces, and then it comes with these little triangular pieces, so you can arrange it however you want. The fit is very tight, which is useful because they're holding up a lot of weight, and then you can just peg this in anywhere on the base. And then you just arrange the base into whatever shape you want it to be. So actually pretty nice little display stands. Of course, the only thing that would have made these kind of better is if they were in clear plastic. I think would have improved them, but they might have been too brittle. So black is a good follow-up color for this. So you can see that one of this guy's cool features is that his dragon's head lights up. And it lights up really nicely, which makes his regular eyes look a little dull. He does have light piping, and you can see it's pretty dramatic, so not bad. But yeah, that dragon head looks really excellent. And then if we look at his regular robot head, it's kind of an interesting look, very sort of like a generic looking Gundam robot. And then this whole crest does come off, and you get something that reminds me a lot of Leo Kaiser. Or Leo Zach, I guess. And then that lets in more of his light piping. But yeah, that looks pretty interesting too. So I think both heads are pretty good. But of course the combined head's a little bit more dramatic looking. And then I guess this is kind of an accessory. So his sword weapon, kind of a spear. It's very sharp at the tip, so, and very narrow. So of course that would easily break off if he ever falls over. And then you can arrange it like this, which kind of looks like a spear or a sword. And as far as the articulation on this guy, it is a little bit hampered just based on his transformation. Even the figure this guy is based on, the Dinosaurs or Dinozone Gigano Dragon, even that guy is doesn't have very good articulation either. This one has slightly better than that, But one issue right away is his shoulder pads tend to get in the way of these shoulder movements. Looks like he's doing okay now, but they're just barely holding in there, and that's because they're tabbed into this little slot right here on this armature. If you take the shoulder pads off, he actually has way more articulation, and you can see he's got 360 here. Everything's pretty much on a ball joint, and as you can tell, the ball joints are very loose. And then he's got elbow ball joint, and then this technically swivels around. This is also kind of on a ball joint, but it's not really. And then his hips are on these double ball joints, so that means that you're not going to be able to get much thigh swivel, especially because the top parts of the ball joints are like locked in place. If those were ball joints up here too, then you could get some thigh swivel. He does have 90 degrees in the knee though, which is pretty impressive. And he does have some swivel because both ball joints are unlocked. So he can actually twist his leg around a little bit, which helps a little bit with posing if you cannot split his whole body in half. And then he's got this swivel cut right here, which is very nice for his ankle. And then he has no ankle tilt because these ball joints are kind of locked, so you can't actually move these ankles freely, but you have this which compensates. So you can try to get him in a dramatic pose. The problem is he doesn't have any, he can't spread his thighs at all, so you can't really get an A stance out of him. You can kind of get some more static looking poses, and then you do have to rely on the stands to help hold up his different joints, which is definitely a cheat. So if you want him actually raising his arm to like shoot his dragon breath, well, it's not really going to happen. I guess I should compare him to the other transforming robot that has a beast head and tail for arms. And yeah, he's much bigger than Megatron. Okay, and I probably should have pointed out to begin with, this guy actually does have parts forming. It's a little bit unforgivable, unfortunately. You do have to take off these shoulder pads, which is not that big a deal. He actually looks okay without them. I don't think that really ruins his look. But you also do have to yank off his entire head. So you just gently work the ball joint so it doesn't snap off. It's pretty difficult. And you can see, I don't know how long that's going to hold up. If I keep this figure, I'll probably sand that down so it's easier to get in and out at the risk of making his head loose. But now he's ready to transform, and he transforms just like that Dino Zone figure. You're just going to pull at his shoulders here, and these are on nice clips. Like these clips hold his shoulders together very nicely. And then you're just going to pull apart the rest of his body. And then you can see that's his whole dragon mode right there. And then yeah, also look out for those little foil stickers that I put on. So all the red parts are stickers. And I tried to only put the stickers in the recessed areas where they're not going to rub off. These ones are in raised areas, so those will probably just come off. But the stickiness is not very good. So these are recessed areas. I was hoping just all these recessed areas would have stickers, but they don't. A lot of the stickers are in the raised areas, which is really dumb. But we could see if we scroll past, we can get his cool dragon look. And yeah, I guess this is the top side. So we just rotate all these sections, and then you also rotate out all these fins along his body. So really nice clear gold effects. I kind of wish his horns were like the same effect, but just because I like clear plastic. And then his feet, you're just going to split them, rotate them so they're facing the right way, and then they have a double joint so they can go along the side of the body. And then you're just going to curl up the feet into these really pleasing claw shapes. And then each finger is individually articulated, which is kind of overkill. I'm just not really big on individual finger articulation, but just keep going along his body. And then when you get to the halfway point here, this is where you're going to parts form these little bits back onto his back, these shoulder armors. And you can see the joint for his head is still there. I guess you could technically... Yeah, there's not enough clearance for you to keep the head on, unfortunately, because I think it'd be fine if his head was just down here. Maybe if like some little cover came out and covered it, but no. And you can see more of the sticker effects. So this is actually looks pretty cool right there. And we just continue rotating him. And then we get his hind legs. And that one doesn't go out. And then for his tail, I don't know if it goes this way. Maybe more like this looks better. I don't know. But there you go. Here's his whole crazy body. So you can definitely get really convincing looking curled up poses. Like in the box, he comes kind of like coiled up like this. So you can see he's got a lot of good potential for posing. But he's going to do none of the posing on his own because he's just very flaccid. Like this is not going to go anywhere. But yeah, if these ball joints were stronger, this would be actually pretty cool. I would highly recommend this. But he can't hold his own weight at all. It's not going to happen. So that's why you get this cool stand that comes with him. There we go. And then to about the tip of his tail, he's about 44 inches long. So this guy's pretty enormous. Or I guess 112 centimeters. Oh, and I guess one more thing I should mention about transforming him is that his side panels can move out, just to make his head look more intimidating. And then his horns also have some articulation. But yeah, everything's on a ball joint, obviously, so we're not going to go over all his individual articulation for every segment. But yeah, to get him on his stand, you can see there's just a lot of these 5mm ports. So you're just going to peg him in, and I think they double as the screw holes. You're just going to peg him in along those ports, and that's how you're going to get him on this stand. Okay, and his robot mode was a little bit of a fail for sure, but it's impossible to deny how amazing this dragon mode looks. It just pulls it off perfectly. Okay, I realize I had these middle sections upside down. So there we go. You can see like his continuous dragon spine, which they just nailed it out of the park. This guy looks awesome. Before I forget, I do want to point out one really kind of dumb thing with this guy is his switch is right here. You can see the word off, like his on-off switch is in the back of the dragon head. And you can see the switch itself is actually right here. And then it toggles on and off. And this is how big my finger is. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to reach this switch with your finger unless you have the smallest fingers in the world. So I have to use this tool and just wedge it in there. And that's how I'm able to turn his eyes on and off, because I literally cannot reach in there. It's not possible. Okay, and here we can see he's kind of got that like coiled up look. So really cool. Yeah, the alt mode definitely makes up for kind of the iffy generic robot mode. This just looks so amazing. All right, and here he is with his Dinozone friend. I forget what this guy's called. Dragonis? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but you can see he looks awesome. He makes a great display piece with other figures because he can just wrap around them. So really awesome. And I got this guy on AliExpress. I'll put the link in the description. And this guy cost $35 after shipping. Can you believe that? Like what a great deal for this guy. Just really incredible robot mode or alt mode. But yeah, highly recommend. The quality is pretty good. He doesn't feel very cheap. He's definitely got like these very sharp points on him, which are overly sharp, and the stickers are junk. But otherwise, pretty good quality. I'd say something like a 7 in quality, maybe an 8. Like the plastic doesn't feel bad. He doesn't have any. He does have die cast in these like foot sections. Actually, no. The connections the connection pegs are die cast, so you don't really have to worry about like him snapping on these armatures because these are all metal, which is very nice. But yeah, highly recommend it. Go pick yours up, and I'll see you in the next one.